Okay, we're already in part 6. This is just cruising right along. I'm glad that I had to record this in segments because sitting there for like 2 hours, oh my god, it would be awful.
Yeah.
I mean, like, it's doable. There's some things that I could sit there for like 100 hours and listen to, but like you really have to be invested. But we were talking about the kitties. Well, specifically the kitty.
Yeah.
So if you wanted to kind of go into a little more detail about that would be awesome.
Yeah, so I have 2 cats, and they were raised together, and they are were the 2 like closest cats that you will ever meet in your life, because the one, which is actually, her name is Jinx, and she's the one that we're having issues with right now. She does not know personal space. She gives no fucks about personal space, and she loves, we call them sissies. She loves her sissy very much. Except for since we moved in this house, she now gets aggressive with the other cat. And it actually happened overnight. Like, when we first moved in the house, for a solid, like, month, I'd say, she was totally fine. Yeah. They were good. And then literally one night, it was like 3 o'clock in the morning, and they were just sleeping in bed with me. And all of a sudden, they both went downstairs and started, I think they were going for food or whatnot, and she just like snapped. Like, super aggressively attacked the other cat. And I'm like, what the hell? Like, what's going on? And I'm trying to break them up. So I'm like, okay, well, Ash, she's the one that was not aggressive, and she's really tiny. Yeah. I had kept her in the room, and I kept Jinx outside of the room. And I was just like, okay, maybe she did something. She spooked her, you know. Yeah. So I'll just let them have their time apart for a little bit. So I closed the door, and we fell asleep. Except for somehow she got in the room. Oh, gee. Like, the door opened, and we've never had issues with, like, that door latching or anything. Yeah.
So it's like a new house. It's a new house. And, like, what are the door handles, like, the twisty ones? Or
the twisty ones.
Oh, ew. Okay, yeah. I was going to be like, well, if it's, like, the, like, handle ones.
She could have, like, pressed it down. No, it's the twisty ones. So I still, to this day, have no fucking clue how she got into that room. But I woke up to her jumping on the bed, and I knew in that moment that we were both about to get attacked.
That's terrifying.
So luckily, I woke up just in time to grab her and put her outside of the room, and I locked the door this time. Yeah. So since then, it is attack on sight as soon as she sees our other cat.
Oh my god.
And I've taken her to the vet. She's done a full look through. She's fine. She's not sick. She's not hurting. Nothing. So I'm taking her to the vet again, actually, in 2 days, for another look over. And she's getting spayed. And you know, she's a teenager at this point, so she's flooded with hormones, angsty. Yeah.
Okay, but I hope that helps it too.
Yeah. And I mean, you kind of saw earlier that she likes her space. I mean, she gets scared very easily of new people in her space. You just gotta respect that of her, and that's never really been an issue before. Okay, but I think now, because she used to live in our bedroom, like. She's not allowed in there now because Ashley's in there. Yeah. So I think now she feels like she can't hide in there anymore. Oh. But she is the one where I've actually woken up to her on the other side of the door growling at something. Oh, God. Yeah. At like 3 o'clock in the morning. I've been in the kitchen. I was sitting on those steps right there. And all of a sudden, she starts hissing. And I'm like, what's wrong? And she's looking down the steps into the kitchen, and she's hissing and growling, and she's getting real low, like down onto the ground. Yeah. And I've told memes about this a few times, but the other day I was in the spare room, which is it's kind of turned into my vanity room. It's got my closet and everything in there. I woke up and I sat in there for a little bit, and the cat and I were just kind of hanging out. Then all of a sudden she starts getting really weird, and she starts hiding behind me. Because I was sitting in, we have like a corner, like a windowsill nook.
Yes, I love that.
And she starts hiding behind me, and I'm like, what are you doing? And she's getting real low, getting real small, and like hiding behind me. And I'm like, look, I like stand up to see what she's doing, and she gets real low and starts creeping behind. Like I had some clothes on the floor, and it's like she's hiding behind that, but looking up above it, like looking around it. And then she goes down the stairs, and she's just acting really weird the whole time. And I recorded it. I showed memes. She she seems to think that she sees something.
Yeah.
But I've never seen her act like this before. And the first day that she started growling and stuff, she randomly came up and bit me.
She's just like out of nowhere.
No, I was over here cooking, and then all of a sudden, I didn't even know she was by me. I feel her bite me.
Dang.
And I looked out like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? Like, I was just shocked. Like, and she like gets real low and like slinks away.
Oh.
Yeah. So,
because it wasn't even like she was trying to instigate play where she'd bite you and like run away.
No.
And, like,
no.
That's so weird.
And like I said, I didn't even know she was there.
Yeah.
And then she just kind of, our friend Kyle was over, and she's known him since she was born, basically.
Yeah.
He used to come over all the time. And she got real weird with him, like wouldn't let him on the couch, nothing. And it was like right after she started growling and stuff like that.
Huh.
Yeah, so, and then along with that, other than the cat, there's really not much has happened with her. But I have nightmares quite often, and for a while they were doing really well, and it tends to happen more when I'm like really stressed out and stuff.
Yeah.
And that's really when the sleep paralysis happens more often. And I know not to sleep on my back when
when you're like stressed out.
Yeah, because sleep paralysis happens more when you're sleeping on your back, I guess.
Yeah, they say back sleepers and nappers for whatever reason, and I am both.
I don't nap, and I normally don't sleep on my back.
But like that's the thing. Like my starting out position is usually my side or my stomach, but I usually wake up like on my back. Yeah. So I don't know. But and I've never associated my sleep paralysis episodes with stress. But it's stressful when it happens.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it is. And I mean, now I'm getting to the first few times are the scariest because you're like, what is going on? And now I'm like, okay, I'm in sleep paralysis. Give me a few minutes. I will wake up and it'll be okay. It'll be over. But one of the last times it happened, and it was a few days after we were over there that weekend talking about all the weird stuff, I felt like something was on top of me.
But okay, so was that like so we had talked about all the weird shit that we talked about, and you said it was a few days afterwards, correct? So I feel like I probably discussed what had happened to me. Do you think that maybe was a factor?
It could have been, but it's happened multiple times now.
Like since or...
Since.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because that's only... Because I get sleep paralysis. Like, honestly, like, I get it at least once a month, if not more. Like, it's just so regular for me. I mean, it hasn't happened in a while, which I will say. I think I told Margot this. I don't know if I told you this, but I feel like since I got together with my fiance, like, it's just, like, almost, like, doesn't happen, which is great.
That's great, yeah.
But it's... I mean, it still does, but, like, it's so... It's just decreased so much that I don't even like notice it anymore, which is weird because it was something that like it was very regular.
Yeah.
So it's like
that's interesting.
It's an interesting thing to think about, but in that same token, it's like, do I feel safer? Like, you know, there's like a lot of things rather than like I don't know if it's like a paranormal thing or if it's just like a body thing.
Yeah. Because I don't sleep well at all. I randomly wake up.
Yeah, I never. I just recently realized that it's not normal to wake up 5,000 times a night. Like I thought that just everybody you just like in and out of sleep all night. Like I just thought that was pretty standard, but I realized this is very, I guess, uncommon. But because it only happened to me the one time when I felt something on top of me, like physically holding me down, and like I said, I told you I felt like that, and it felt like something was like licking the inside of my ear and like I don't even know how to describe, like, the sound. It was like a guttural.
Well, that's the thing.
Ugh.
When I do go into sleep paralysis, it's always related. Like, there's always some sort of audio hallucination. Like, I can hear things with it.
See, I've only had the audio hallucination the one time. I've never had visual, thank God. Because some people, when they tell about their visual, it's...
Yeah, I know,
Oh,
right?
my God. I'd never sleep again.
Same.
It's always just, like, you can't move.
Yeah.
I don't really know, like, what, but I don't have any type, no audio, no visual, no, like, sensation other than not being able to move and panicking.
Yeah. Interesting fact, it was probably like the second time, because it all started in the last year is when my sleep paralysis started happening. Before that, it was just, like, the same recurring nightmares.
Oh.
Yeah. But the, like, second time I had sleep paralysis, the audio hallucination was hearing screaming coming from underneath my bed.
Oh my God.
Like screaming. Like bloody murder screaming.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
That's terrifying.
But this time where I felt like, the first time I felt like someone was, like, holding me down, I don't even know how to explain the audio hallucination that came with that one, because it sounded mechanical. Like, almost like someone was running a weed whacker or something. I'm like, what? Okay. But, I literally, like, in my brain, because I'm so used to it by now, I just said, fuck off in my brain. I'm like, I don't know what's going on, but fuck you.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. But that's, I don't know, it's just weird. So is it something you've noticed more, like, in this house, or is it just something that you've kind of...
No, because when I was living in the last house, I would experience it also. Okay. But that was...
Was that the grandparents' house, or when you were with Gage in the other house?
When I was with Gage in the other house.
And so I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, no. And see, the very first time I experienced it was when my dad was in the hospital. Oh. And I was really, really stressed out.
So stressed out. I think, I really do feel like I'm sure there's, like, explanation for it. But, it's just some of the weird, like, synchronicities with other people. Yeah. And it's almost like the same exact thing, because it would happen to me, but I didn't know what it was until, like, recently. And I'm glad I don't have, like, the visual, but I almost wish that, like, I would have to almost, like, validate that, like, because some of the people see, like, the same shit.
Yes. Oh yeah, like the night hag or something.
Yeah,
like
the old hag. Yeah, that's, like, sits on your chest. Like, that's creepy and weird.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
I don't like that. No.
But I think that we can kind of actually do a whole episode, like, on stuff like this.
Oh yeah.
So I feel like maybe we should save
cut that off.
Yeah, we're gonna save some of this for. I might actually re-listen to this, and we might just have an episode just based solely on dreams, and we could even just fucking knock that out.
Yeah, because now that would be great.
Good, yeah, because I've had some weird stuff happen to me. I think maybe you could just be my co-host. But I don't know. I feel like I might do a little bit of. I'll definitely have to add that this one, just because we did kind of go off on, like, a weird dream tangent. Yeah. And we did talk about the cats. But just to wrap things up, I don't know how to add it on here, so if this gets in, oopsie. But I think this was a really good show. We got six cranked out, unless you have more stuff that you need to talk about. Okay.
No, I think we're good.
Yeah, I do too. So I think I'm actually going to try to have Hailey on a lot more, just because we have a lot of, like, the same thought processes towards things. Yeah. And, like, we like a lot of the same stuff. So I think, and I really like the interview aspect of it. Like, the back and forth, I think, is more than just somebody listening to me talk for an hour and a half.
Definitely.
I wouldn't want to listen to myself for 5 minutes.
I will say, though, like, your prior episodes, I'm someone who listens to podcasts when I drive. I don't listen to music.
Yeah.
So, like, driving back and forth when I was working in like, the town over and whatnot, it was so nice to listen
to. Awesome. Well, I'm glad. Hopefully everybody that listens, all the 5 people. Thanks, Mom. I hope they get the same thing. But I do have a way to record now, so I really don't want to go another year.
Yeah.
God, that's awful. That's just too long. So I think that, this is just a good way to do it and break it up into smaller ways. So thank you for being patient. If you're someone who listened before and are listening again, I really do appreciate it because I know it has been over a year.
Yeah.
It's been like 13 months. Mm-hmm. So thank you for putting up with my bullshit. And there will be more episodes out soon. I don't really know the format. I really like the back and forth with other people, and Hailey just might be a regular on here. So